Hello, Graham from ArionGames here, and today I'm going to talk to you about a new product that I released this week. It wasn't in my publication plan for the year. Um, it was one that just sort of appeared, as products sometimes do with me. Normally I have this idea and I think I've got to write that, and I sit down and write it and release it with no real plan to do so. This one, however, was written by my son. Now, he didn't want to appear on the video, so I'm going to talk about it instead. And he wanted to write an AFF book. He's been playing it for quite some time, and he had come up with a setting and some specific creatures for an island on Titan. So we had looked around and we found Mishna, and hence the book is The Creatures of Mishna. It's primarily creatures, but there is a little bit of setting in here. And as you can see, we've got introduction to the island, the creatures, and so on. So Mishna lies a fair way west and indeed south from Kull, and you can see it just to the bottom right there of the compass rose. It's never been detailed in any fighting fantasy books. There's nothing canon about it. It's an island. And that's all we know about it. So it seemed perfect for effectively a mini setting. It's cut off from the rest of Titan, so there's going to be other creatures from Titan on there, but it can develop its own ecology, its own creatures, its own setting, its own history. But of course, it's still not impossible to get there, either by the use of magic, portals, teleport spell gone wrong, boat blown off course, or even adventurers actually going out exploring. So Mishna lies down there, but that's all that was known about it. So we took that island and we produced a new map of it, which you can see there. So it's a volcanic island. It's surrounded by coral reefs. We have a jungle at one end, we have some plains at the other, forest down the middle, a lake, small desert, etc. So all sorts of different terrains there, and we've put in the history, and I'm not going to go through it now, but it's quite an intriguing little history. It gives you quite a lot to work with. It's not just there was this island and some creatures live there. There is actually a history to it. There's an actual setting there. It offers various options and possibilities for adventures and for adventuring. And we've got a couple of pages of introduction and geography and history and so on and so forth. We're hoping between us to detail that more in another short publication. But there's enough to be going on with at the moment. And the real bulk of the book is 18 new creatures for AFF. So here you can see core serpents, and forest orcs. Forest orcs are one of the main races on Mishna, so they are quite key to the setting, to its history. We've got art from the wonderful John Capsalis, who's produced a companion set of paper miniatures for this book. So if you buy the book, you can buy the paper miniatures. You can then use them in your game straight away. And I wanted to put these two in because the core serpent is one of those images that looks like it's staring at you, and it's really evocative. It really gives it a feeling for it. And here you can see a couple more: the thorny frog and the tree dragon. And these all these creatures interlink with each other. So thorny frogs are not particularly dangerous. You can see they're skill 5, stamina 4, just giant frogs. They don't have an awful lot in the way of armor or attack. What they do, however, is they eat chewing flies, and chewing flies are a rather nasty enemy. Again, individually not bad, but you get a whole bunch of them, and they can do significant damage to characters. So thorny frogs eat chewing flies. So if you tame them, they will help you biting the chewing flies. And there's all these different interactions between different creatures and the setting and so on. So we've got 18 new creatures, all illustrated. as I said, and then we finished the book off with some encounter tables. So we've got some specific encounter tables for each of the different environments on the island. Some of them are referencing standard creatures from Out of the Pit and so on. Some of them are not. And then we've got a specific treasure table. So if the director decides you've got a Mishna specific treasure, you can roll on here. You've got things like the fly silk coat. That's made from chewing fly silk. And because these flies, like all flies, see the world in slow motion, when you put this on, the world seems to slow down ever so slightly, which gives you a bonus to dodge. And we've got, there's the orc ale and so on. So there's some new magic items there to drop into your mission and game. So this is really intended as a micro setting. You could run a whole series of adventures there. And it's a micro setting, and it's not Kull. It's not Alancia. It's not the old world. It's not the standard areas that you all know. It's somewhere new, but it's still part of Titan. It's still got some of the classic AFF monsters. It's still got the classic AFF feel. So you can get this book now in a PDF version for a few dollars. There will be a print version on the way, and as usual, when the print version is ready, I will send out codes to everyone who's bought the PDF version so that you can easily upgrade. So only another short video today. There'll be another one along very, very soon. And until then, happy gaming.